Hey y'all, I have to get these green beans canned. So this is going to be a super quick tutorial. I'm going to chop them up, put them in the jars, seasoning, water, and get them in my canners. Alright y'all, I just got to get these green beans chopped up. I wanted you to see this part. I know it's super fast, but I am just cutting these into basically bite-sized pieces and chopping off the ends of each green bean. So now I'm just filling a jar up with green beans. I wanted you guys to see this part too. Once you chop them up into bite-sized pieces, get them in a jar, pat it down a bit so that they are in there really good. You don't want to press them down too much because you do want them to be able to have some airspace. Canning does become a family affair around here, so I have my baby girl helping me chop green beans and getting them into the jars. So for these green beans, I'm only going to use salt. You want to use a good quality salt. I'm using kosher salt. And of course, I'm going to fill the jars only with water. You can use chicken broth or whatever liquid you like, but I'm just going to use water here. Okay, now be sure you leave your 1-inch headspace there too. So what I didn't show you that I did off camera was I debubbled my jars by using my debubbler tool, going around the sides of the jar and in the center to make sure that I got out as many air bubbles as possible. And I wiped the rims of my jars down with a paper towel and vinegar. And remember, you want to just put these rings on fingertip tight. You don't want them on too tight because you want the air to be able to release. So twist them until you can't go anymore and then give it another little twist. Okay, so in my canner, I have 3 quarts of water and a splash of vinegar. The vinegar is so that the hard water deposits don't stain my jars or lids. I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat on high heat, okay? And I'm going to put my jars in. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. I have my jars pretty close together in the canner. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my lid on here. So at this point, when you're putting your lid on, if you have this same canner, you need to line up the ridges at the bottom down there, as you can see, and then you're going to give it a turn to line up the arrows to secure the lid on to the pot. Okay, so before I put my lid on, I did make sure that my vent hole was clear, right? And that my top would move up and down. Now that that is done, I'm going to wait for this to start building up pressure. The top will pop up, and then I'm going to let this reach a full steam vent. Okay, I know you guys probably can't see it that well, but I'm at a full vent right now, full steam vent. So it is time to add my weight. At my altitude, it is 10 pounds of pressure. This is 10 pounds right here for this canner, which I'm using a Presto pressure canner, 16 quart. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to the top. It will begin to jiggle after it has reached 10 pounds of pressure. I'm going to turn my heat down and we're going to let these go for 25 minutes. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, you guys, we are jiggling. Now I'm going to set the timer also for 25 minutes. So when that's done, I'll be back to show you guys the end result. Okay, you all, so our top has fallen back in. We're no longer jiggling, of course. That means it is safe to open this pot. It has cooled to temp or cooled down to where it is safe to open this up. It's going to remove our weight. This is hot. Be careful. Turn it away from you. Okay. And oh, they smell so good. We're going to go ahead and take out our green beans. Okay. They look wonderful. And that's it, you guys. We let these cool for 24 hours, wipe them down, and store them. Where are we going to put them?